post that I saw, the Swedish Prime Minister post, Ulf Kristersson, and I will make it in English, American English. So here's my commentary, news commentary, and I'm making this. There's really not a strong need to make videos on Swedish topics, or if the target audience like mostly Swedish people, there's really not a strong need for me to make the video in Swedish, because 90% of Swedish people, at least 90+%, 9 out of 10 Swedish people have high enough of an English comprehension level to understand if you speak in English. And so if I make videos in Swedish, there's very few people that can understand what I'm saying. And most of my subscribers are from English-speaking countries. If I make a video in Swedish, only Swedish people can understand me. Whereas if I make a video in English, English people understand me, which a big part of the world speaks English. And Swedish people understand me. So if I make videos in Swedish, only Swedish people understand me. And there's like less than 50 million Swedes in this world. And if I make videos in English, both Swedish and the rest of the world, or most of the world, can understand me. So I'm commenting on a recent change in Swedish law. And let's just show the post I'm reacting to. And this really grinded my gears, understand? Okay, politics and religion. Ulf Kristersson, so it's the Swedish PM, Prime Minister, politician. And this is Swedish. And since it doesn't say translate, I'll translate it. Now we're removing the, okay, gräddfil. Now we're removing the, well, it's really hard to explain. Well, now we're making it harder for Chinese giants, such as Shein and Temu, okay? They have been able to sell cheap climate, harmful to the climate, and sometimes dangerous goods to Sweden and the EU without paying custom fees, okay? And often with bad workers' rights conditions. Now we're putting an end to this. And they're gonna make it more expensive to shop from Temu. So it's similar to Trump with the tariffs. So here's my comment there. This is a change that is hitting low-income individuals and households the hardest, which I fall into that category, being on disability, okay? I'm on disability. I'm a low-income individual, there's low-income households. So there's another law that hits low-income households, individuals, and families the hardest. Because people like me that are low-income on disability, I've been able to get, it's like I'm in survival mode economically. See, I'm not in survival mode wholesale, mentally, physically, spiritually, I'm in survival mode economically. There's like just enough to survive month by month, paycheck to paycheck, disability check. And still I had to borrow money sometimes, like from my mom or something like this. Like sometimes I had to borrow money from somebody. So, and it's really hard for me to survive economically. It's like, so one of the ways I've been able to have an acceptable or almost acceptable life, being able to survive economically, is by being able to order things cheaply from abroad, from China side, so-called. Temu and Wish. Used to be Wish and then I switched to Temu. So this is another change that hits low-income people, like kicking someone down. This is hurting people most that are already financially vulnerable. They already have, the people are the most vulnerable. Don't forget to hit the like. People that leave comments or hit the like button get blocked. And somebody came in and left a comment and didn't hit the like button. It says 0 likes. I went live 4 minutes ago. And this is the first commenter and it says 0 likes. So people, you have 90 seconds to leave a like or you get blocked. Because you just showed me that you didn't click the like button. Okay? Which is a side of narcissism. Where people are coming to get something, attention and answer. See, it's a side of narcissism. People show up on my channel or leaving comments and hit like button because it shows that they look to get something, attention from me, an answer to a question, some interaction from me, but they don't want to give a like. They can't reciprocate at its lowest level. So yeah, here we go. The person's getting blocked already. How do you, sir? Okay, so this is another change in Swedish politics law that is hitting low-income people the hardest. And notice how it's tied into all these other globalists. Guys are globalists. Prime ministers are puppets. I've said it before. So it's not that my criticism mostly with American politics. It's like Trump is a puppet. It's all and without naming the guy, I've said it in general, Sweden, America, prime ministers, politicians are puppets of the deep state. So this guy, I count him as a puppet of the deep state. Okay, and notice how this globalism, it's like global warming, like climate, see, it's like they sell a lot of things like for the climate, see, for the climate, new world order, deep state agendas to control the masses. All the it's like for the climate, see, for the greater good of the climate. So a lot of times they market things, changes they want to make, like attached for the climate, see, for the climate. Okay, so his support and his justification is a big part of it, like several motivators was like, yeah, it's bad because they don't have the same standards for talks, and so possibly some of the products can be bad, like dangerous that they sell, and also worker conditions are bad. Okay, it's the Chinese government's responsibility to protect their citizens. It's not Sweden. It's the Chinese government's responsibility to protect their citizens. See, not the Swedish government. So they're lying. There's something else here. And I believe, to wax conspiratorial, that this is about keeping people easy to control. Remember, the Swedish government have proven in the last 10 years especially that they're not concerned about Swedish people's health. That's not what this is about. The deep state that control Sweden and America, they want people to be weak and easy to control. So if you want to hurt people, keep them easy to control and weaken the public, you target the finances, because money answers all things. See? So me being able to stay strong despite being targeted by the Swedish state with gang stalking persecution, government gang stalking, a big part of that is I can spend money, buy things to help me to stay safe and protect myself from the persecution and mitigate the damage from the persecution, because I can buy more supplements to protect my mental physical health that suffers from the targeting by buying certain things cheap, like shoes from China. See, some clothes, like winter clothes, I can order that from China, and I have more money over for food and supplements. See, so another change that they made is that hit people like me the hardest, and it's like hits close to home. I'm a smoker, okay? And they made a change. I used to be able to buy raw tobacco, which I believe, I'm not saying it's healthy, but I believe it's less harmful, less bad for you. Like American Spirit, whatever, like raw tobacco, untreated, okay? Natural tobacco. I used to be able to buy, I don't remember which year it was, 2017 they stopped us for this, but I used to be able to buy raw tobacco in bulk. And I could buy like half a kilo for $20 or something like this. And that bag, one bag would last me a whole month of hand-rolled cigarettes. So it was cheaper and it's less bad for your health. I believe the raw tobacco is less bad for your health than the big brand, commercial brands, where they spray it with whatever chemicals, aromas, whatever they do when they treat it, okay? They take raw tobacco companies, and then treat it with something. Aromas, they add this chemical, this ingredient, that ingredient. And none of the ingredients that they add is going to make the tobacco less bad for you. And I believe that it makes it worse, actually, that it's worse for you. So, and once again, they justify it because it costs the society, the people smoking get cancer, something like this. So we're disincentivizing buying tobacco by making it more expensive to buy tobacco. Here's the thing, people that are smokers, there's no level that people stop smoking because it's too expensive. Understand? People are addicted to something, will find a way to get what they're addicted to, no matter the cost. Well, even if you raise the prices. So they raise the prices on cigarettes like by £1 a year or so. 2 crowns, 2 crowns. And I never heard anybody say, well, since they raised the prices, I quit smoking. I'm on Swedish forums, I'm on all kinds of, I've never heard somebody say, it's like, okay, it's become too expensive to smoke, so I'm quitting it. Okay. So they justify it for health. Well, people that are smokers have less money to buy supplements like vitamin C and NAC and cysteine and other supplements because it costs more to buy the tobacco, which means you're more harmed by smoking if you're vitamin deficiency. You have less money to spend on things that help your health because it costs more money to buy the tobacco. So since they made this change, I used to be able to buy natural tobacco. So how does that hurt citizens' health? It's with the opposite of for health, okay? Well, it hurts your health because I believe that treated tobacco, big corporate tobacco companies that buy raw tobacco and treat it with all these ingredients, I believe that's worse for you, worse for your health. So that's one way it hurts you. Secondly, smokers will have less money over to do things to offset the smoking. They will have less money over to spend on things that are good for your health. To protect you from toxins, spend less money to buy supplements, less money to buy organic food. So put it to you simply, a smoker is a smoker, they're doing one thing that's bad for your health, okay? Now, if they're a smoker that eats organic food rather than unorganic, and they can afford it, they have the smoking poison, and then they're eating inorganic food is more poisons, and it's like the total amount of poison into a person's body per month. It's going to be less if the smoker has money to buy organic food, a lot of supplements for the health, whatever they can spend money on to help the health. So here's another change in Swedish society law that makes it, they hit low-income people the hardest. And it weakens people, money and all things, and make it easy to control. And the Swedish government has shown the last 5-10 years that they don't care about Swedish people's health. So that's just something to wrap it in, false justification. Okay, there's something else to it. And one of the things that they're working to do with this is to make Swedish people have less money. Okay. So I'm upset about this. I don't like it. They're going to make it more expensive to order from Temu, which will hit low-income people the hardest.